Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, friends and everyone. Let me get this set up as well right quick. I apologize. Hopefully you can forgive me, Sam. How are your exams going? You want me to ask? I don't have to ask. But yeah. That is, I don't need to ask if you don't want me to. That's more like what I'm saying. Okay. Okay. Well, so wait a little bit and hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's see. It's 10:30. Sam, you shouldn't have been out too long, right? From your exams? All set up over there. It's good. It'll be fun. Going to be fun. These are pretty cool. These are pretty cool blanks. We'll get a better look here in just a moment, but they're pink, yellow, interference, and very translucent wisps in there. So that's really, really cool. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Okay. Well, not really a whole lot to talk about, I reckon. Might as well get right to it. Yeah. Today's or this week's colorway rather is Sweetheart. Sweetheart. Don't worry, I won't sing the whole time. All right. Oh, shoot. Give me one more segundo. Here, let's take a look over here. Crap. Sorry. There we go. That's the one. All right, you can see it there now. There we go. Okay. Just a moment. Just a moment. Oh, Lordy. Oh, come on now. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Do some of this. Some of this. Oh, yeah. This. Select more photos. That'll work. Okay. Now, let's see. Do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Nope. Okay. Hi. Okay. That needs to be shorter. Yep. That. See what that sounds like. Oh. What we doing here? Trying. Okay. Okay. That's good. Oh, come on. Speed to... What's up? How you doing? Finishing editing this little reel here. What?
Keep making me fill out boxes.
No. Not yet. How you doing, man? I gotta go for a ride. I gotta get my bike set up though. I went for one this morning, but the and rather the hang grip got pretty toasty. It's got well, I guess 4 different settings. One's off, and then it's 1, 2, and 3. But yeah, it's nice and toasty. Yeah, it did. I think the biggest thing, man, is if you can get that wind under control, it won't be so bad, or it isn't as bad. You know. Yeah. Let's see, what time is it? Wednesday. Yeah, man. Well, all right. Well, what are you doing this weekend? Yeah, it is a pretty cool pearlescent effect in there. A little bit of the color shift, sparkles, and then kind of clever Heck yeah, hear that. But yeah, it's like a translucent, transparent layer. Um, yeah, pretty awesome. We'll get started here in just a momento. I do have to get the bike put back into the shop or taken to the shop. So apparently, they will also come and pick your bike up for you. If it's like within a 30-mile radius, they'll come and pick your bike up, which is pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah, you got any ideas where you want to go? Shoot. Diamond. There we go. All right. Mm-mm-mm. Better, better, better. Okay. Hey, Sam, are you on TikTok? Or Shadow, are you on TikTok? All right. Okay. We're good. Now I can go get my beverage and then get to turning, man. Heck yeah. Bum. Whoop. All right. Oh, the dogs, man. It's cool they can take care of their customers like that. Nice. Um, new channel for bikes. You got the first one monetized already? Oh, Evan, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, I'm good too. I am good as well. Yes. Yeah, it's a good day. Your spyware to be American. uh, uh, sure. Oh, Bangladesh hat. I don't know. Sometimes when you buy the American brands, it's I don't know. I think some people just do it for the reputation that other people have built for said American brands. Might have to clarify that a little bit. But it is interesting, an interesting thing. So it's like it's kind of like yeah, I think it's like that. So it is kind of like when um, people are taking the joy of what other people have spent a lot of time creating. Yeah. So you spend a lot of time and say that you hear of a group of people of some sort. You hear nothing but incredible, awesome things. And then you just say that you're a part of that group or whatever. What you're doing is you're kind of riding on the success of that. You know what I mean? Now, it doesn't mean that you didn't earn it or anything. It's just more of your help continuing to make that brand or stock or company better in some form or fashion. But nonetheless, you are riding on their success as well. And I think, that's a very roundabout way to say that people are like, oh, it's American made. I think some people nowadays, I think it's more common nowadays that um, because you built a good reputation on American made being like reliable quality and all that stuff. I think a lot of people are just like, oh, American made. And then they're not going to argue it. They're not going to look it up. They're not going to look deeper into it. But it is one of those things that's kind of interesting because, like, well, I mean, this particular thing could be better from another country. Like they do a better job at it. So now I get the spyware though. It was just a thing that made me think about the other stuff. Anyway, before I get to rambling too much here, uh, yeah. So I got to try out some of my stepped bits, and I need to do a little bit of modification to. Dang it! But that's the fun in all of it, right? Stuff doesn't work, so you do that, and then do some of this. The metal lathe that you have, does it have a mill on it? Um, like I guess kind of like a drill press kind of mill, where so it'll spin this way, and then you can have the workpiece like cylindrical. But is there something coming from the top spinning this way that you could do um, other things with? I guess I don't even know if you're still here, but yeah, just thinking about that. My lifestyle reminds you of Hawkeye. I mean, Kevin, you too. Do you have like a mill on top of your metal lathe or something that could go on the carriage? But I was talking to Shadow. Um, well, I guess really anybody who had a metal lathe. So, but yes. And Sam, why is that? My lifestyle reminds you of Hawkeye. I'll be honest, I don't know a lot of specifics about superheroes or anything like that. It's just never, it wasn't quite my thing, you know. Um, yeah. Hmm. Where would you get the attachment? I've been looking around casually, right? I haven't really like been going hard trying to figure that one out, but just kind of casually looking around at the different accessories you can get for that, or the carriage, I guess. Oh, nice. Uses the bow, is very agile. Nice. I am agile. I mean, once upon a time, you know, as with everybody. As with everybody. I had a pretty interesting thought about yeah, eBay. That's where I got the carriage drill thing, which you could use, couldn't you? You could use that. You got a metal lathe and um yeah. Okay. I've got these sorted how I want them now. But yeah, you got a metal lathe. You could do all the drilling and everything. I'll say that I have still yet to find a flat bit. So if you happen to come across one, a flat drill bit. So I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. And then, shoot, where'd the other one go? Oh, there it is. So if you take a look at these, what I'm talking about is you got like your center starts, right? And I use these as a center start for doing the drill part, but this on the Forstner bit is flat, right? You can see that the point, the center start point kind of thing, and then to keep it in line when it's going in, to keep it centered, is flat, right? But these here, you can see that they're swooped down. See what I'm talking about? Yeah. So this is kind of swooped down. So when I actually use the particular thing to create a recess, then the problem I'm having is I have to go back with a different bit to make it flat, or I have to use uh, a different type of tool, you know, I get the actual diameter set, and then I get a different tool to make it so it's flat and it will accept what I'm trying to do. Sorry, the dogs are barking at the neighbor. Get in here. Get in here. Come on. Come on. You're naughty. You're naughty. Naughty dog. Sorry about that. But let's see. Barely agility to get out of bed. Right on. Yeah, sorry about that. I had to let the dogs in. My pointer likes to bite the fence, so that'll probably be one of the things that we've got to replace once once that time comes of us leaving. Let's see. Okay. Anybody got big plans for this week? Oh, yeah. Okay. Good, good. Everything is set. Now, let's get to it. Start with the EasyWood tool, Diamond. Hashtag not affiliated. Weird. So I guess there was a little bit of like a cover on this, but that's coming off. It's weird. All righty, here we go. So here we are, got the number. I'm gonna turn on Morty here. Morty is my desk collection. And away we go. You texted me. Okay. Nope. But the other thing that I was talking about was the chuck that goes onto the that goes on the carriage of the metalway. The tool post. Goodness, why was that so hard? The tool post, it just sets. Boom. Let's see. All right, we're gonna do a little beading action. Some people think it's very challenging to create a little rounded feature, but when you have a beading tool, it kind of makes it easy. I'd say one of the main drawbacks is potentially going too deep, but you know, it's just something you got to be aware of. Be familiar with the material that you're working with. Sometimes you can run into the material getting too thin, and then if you drop it, it can break, which is not ideal. So we try to leave it as thick as possible, but also define the round thing as good as possible too. The bead, that is. Yeah, so just going to do some of these. And then I got to get back inside to continue working on that video. And I get it close and close. The other thing, while I was working on the video, I guess, Kevin, what do you think about this? As far as like the setup of the videos, something that I was thinking about was changing a little bit to where basically the first part of the video would be well, basically for the sleeving part, right? So making the ebonite sleeve for the type of pin. So I think what I'm going to do is create it as a two-part just for the first one, and then for the rest of the wooden ones, as far as like the wood project, it'll just be focusing on the wood itself, if that makes sense. So basically, I'm just going to, in one video, use that as a way I sleeve it. And then that'll just kind of be like a standard. This is how I sleeved it in all of them. So I'll just focus on after I got it sleeved, and then, after I created the sleeve of those. That makes sense. I didn't do a test run on how I was going to talk about that, but I think I like that idea. Because I know there are going to be some people that want to see the sleeving part. They don't really care about the purple part. So, and partially because you're probably familiar with it already. So. You can almost go either way. Okay. Well, I'm just thinking for like the sake of creating a video that's going to be familiar every time you go to it. I don't think that I would need to sleeve it every time, but I suppose I could show different parts of it, you know. But yeah, I think thinking about having it in two parts, at least for the first time, and then everything else will be different species of wood and so, I mean, it's kind of hard, I guess, to explain well enough, but that could be a part of it, at least. Good idea. Okay, good. Thank you for your input. Your input has been received. All right, let's see how we're looking here. Well, I'd say that looks pretty cool. You can see some hearts in there, so there are some glitter hearts. It's early here. I hear you. Sorry. I woke up. What time did I wake up? About 5, I think. And then a little later, I went to the gym. Yeah, went today. Nothing too crazy though, for sure. Heck yeah. This one should be oriented this way, and we shall call another one. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing for me in the gym is I never really got taught how to work out normally, like a normal person works out. Um, because every time I was exercising, it was for a very specific purpose of trying to, you know, enhance the capabilities of what I can do, you know? And then, you know, you don't really exercise less than a few hours in order to do that. And so it gets boring in if you're not a gym rat, which I am not. But yes, just it's hard to, I guess, put into words. But thinking about it, it is more along the lines of not knowing how to work out normally. And for whatever reason, I'm sure other people don't know, or they do know, but they're not doing whatever. But exercising for 30 minutes has always been a weird thing to me. They're supposed to be training all the time. At least that's how it used to be, right? So when you do something for a long time, kind of hard. Because I think for some things you develop some resentment, but on the other hand, you're just, part of me even hated the word gym. But it didn't do anything to me. Except make me a little bit better than I was, you know? Yeah, it wasn't a crazy exercise, but it was about 30 minutes. I got I have 3 different programs that I'm on. Yeah, 3 different programs, or I guess it's the other 3 different routines depending on the day. So if I can just go there and not really think, there you go. Just do it. On a different note, I was thinking it would be pretty cool from a maker's point of view if there was like a group makers something. Now, I don't know exactly what it would be, but I think it would be pretty interesting if you had specific people that had different fortes. And I'm not saying I'm even one of them. Just saying, like, makers, you get them together, and some of them are really into the metalwork aspect of it, and some people are really into the shaping, some people into the history of the piece, or some people are really into whatever it is, you know? But it would be pretty cool, basically, to start one thing and then send it to the next maker. And then they've got to add something to it. And then you keep doing that. And so there's going to be a lot of different things that you can do, right? But yeah, I just thought that would be kind of interesting, you know? And I don't know really what purpose it would be other than just to do it, and then have makers get hands on it and stuff like that. But, you know, 4, 1. Well, yeah, nobody would want to be the one that messed it up, but I think it would be pretty fun, like if it was something that was maybe streamed. So once we have enough makers that are streaming, that could make it pretty interesting to where uh, they would stream it and then everything would get put together, and then it would be kind of like a record of what that pin, went through. Because even if you broke it, it doesn't matter because it can still get fixed, Like that's the whole point of of being a maker and that stuff. So in some ways, I think it would make it more fun if it was broken by the previous person. Say that they were working on a section or something, and then they broke it, and they're like, "Well, shit, I don't know how to fix that." And you're like, "Oh, no worries, just send it over here. I got it." And then you can actually show how you did that. And then everybody that's a part of the whole thing would be able to enjoy said thing. Now, I'm probably going to forget about this, unfortunately, but I'll have to visit this video this live a little later. But I was just thinking that'd be pretty cool. And I think at the end of the day, what it becomes, oh, dude, what it becomes is like, could be kind of like a rite of passage kind of thing for makers, huh? And then it would just be like a accumulation of all the different things that makers did. And, we could even have a different pin the next year that we started it, that you start with. The more I think about it, the more I like it. But like you could even have the box. Somebody could make the box if they were just a pin enthusiast and they like woodworking. They could potentially make a box. I don't know. You want it to be in a group. Yeah. What do you think about that? I think that'd be pretty interesting. And you don't necessarily have to stream, right? It's just if you did make a mistake, you could have people like watching it and then seeing if you're going to work your way through it. And the whole point's to have these different challenges that everybody is solving, right? Everybody's got a different way of solving things, and so you have this Kevin's way of approaching this thing, and then you have somebody else's way of approaching this thing. So I think it would be pretty entertaining. I think I should also mention, I don't know how much I actually like Discord. I don't know how much I like the Discord. Now, it's partially because there's a lot to it, and I haven't spent the necessary time to figure it out. But on the other hand, I've only got so many hours in a day, I can only do so much. And then I guess at that point, if it was something that was worth going further, pushing in more with is um, probably have to just get somebody to help do that part. But yeah, man, I just think that it would be pretty cool. It would get community involvement. It wouldn't really matter what your skill level is. You wouldn't have to contribute like a huge amount. Just put something that is, you know, reminiscent of what you are or what do you think would characterize you, and you can add whatever you want. Or, um, I mean, there would obviously be specific rules and stuff of like you can't completely remove any single thing. If the thing is already really small, don't mess with it. If it happens to come apart, I don't know. Because I think some of the logistics is going to also be a pain. Um, but I mean, people probably shouldn't be trying to take it or try to work on said project. Yeah. Um, if they weren't willing to pay for it to move forward, you know what I mean? So that's not a bad name for the project, huh? All right, Kevin. I hope you're taking notes, man, because you're like, I'm just kidding, but only a little bit. I think if you took notes, that'd be good. Uh, but it could be like Project Pay It Forward or the Pay It Forward project. But you're not really I mean, you're paying it, right? But you just push something forward and it can start with whatever. And then, like right now, I can think of other things that would make it even more interesting, maybe on like the people that are familiar with the initial rules of it. So, like, man, I'm really gonna need to go back and watch this one. Um, okay, so you have so the first round, the first pen, right, that goes around is just you do a little bit to it, and then you just add something that you could identify as yours, and you share with a picture and all that crap, with the hashtag of like whatever, right? And then the next thing would be where it'll be displayed at shows. Um, so those are kind of the only real timelines that have to happen. And then there will be like a ledger that goes along with it, to where if you were a maker and you worked on it, you gotta write in what it was that you did and with what material and stuff like that, and like the date that you did it. So like the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, why. Dude. 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 This sounds cool. This sounds cool. The ultimate collab. Hey, that's not a bad name either. You can call it the ultimate collab and then just have the year. But yeah. All right. You wrote this down, right? No, really though. I'm gonna have to write this down. We'll revisit this. But yes, that sounds cool. But I don't think it would be that complicated. And then, you know, each person that got it already has like a social media. So, you know, that would be a way to like track it, where it would be that specific hashtag. Um, and it's like, where's the, where it is, or who it's with, not where it is. We don't want to make stalkers here. But yeah. It sounds cool. All right, now the logistics of it. You got any ideas for shipping? Or just, is it going to be a part of the maker's bill? It's just a understood thing that if you do get it, then you gotta, you know, pay for the shipping to the next destination. I don't really know how to make like a community, like a community pot of money, or even if that is a thing. Is there anything like that? Like a community account of anything that like you can use it only for this purpose? And then, you know, you just open it up to like donations or whatever. And then that would be the pool that it gets paid. And then it will allow like other projects and other things like that to happen. Because I know that some people, you know, they're very money hungry, and I don't want it to be like a way for it to get abused. Oh, you pass it off at the next show. Woo! I don't know, because a lot of people are working on their inventory for these shows. Now, you could definitely use the shows as a place to pass it off. I don't think that would be like the place to pass it off every time. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, what if you have like a gift card to a UPS store? No, never mind. But what if you had like a tab on the UPS store? Hmm. How would you make it so that's the only one? Huh. Okay. I don't know. Still. Oh, how about hmm, I don't know. I'm gonna have to put a pin in it. Yeah, the other thing about people that go to pin shows
maker wise is most of them aren't full-time turners. Um, so they still have a full-time job that they do. So trying to build up more inventory while trying to push their limits, their artistic ability and capabilities on a extracurricular project. Sure. It's a bushing. The other side. Well, then you just use a live center on the other end. That one's so you can make it smaller if you wanted to. Because you see how the outer diameter is 10.5? Well, if you wanted it smaller, that's how you do it. That's why I didn't try to explain it to you. All right, let me see what you got. What you got, Kevin? We work on it whenever we get a show. If the person gets it, yeah. I suppose that could work. Yeah. Well, I think this is pretty cool so far. Because the shows, let's see, there's already been one show, and I think there's another one coming up, right? And then they do happen throughout the year, and there's probably, you know, around 10 or 12 different shows, and that would be potentially 10 different makers, or 12 or whatever. California show is in Feb. Now, is that this? It is the Cali show, right? Not the San Fran. Just it is just the Cali. Because there's two different shows. So just making sure. Okay, cool. And then you said that you're going to that as a what is it? Spectator? Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Oh, if I may suggest, take a little case. Take a little case of your pins and then have a couple empty spots too. That way you can find people, you can talk about pins and be like, oh, check this out. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. I don't know if I would exclusively have your own, but, you know, maybe. So that'd be a pretty cool thing to do. Number two, what number is it? 27, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, I would suggest doing that. That way you could potentially actually sell, especially after, well, I won't tell you everything, man. That way you can experience some of the stuff brand new, unless you just really want me to talk about it. All right. You know, one of these days I'll end up going to that one. But I have to see what ticket prices for. Hmm. Well, let me see what quick. It's February 13th, 2016. Well, if you really wanted to get the best, or the most, I should say, out of your... What? You could. You go to both. Why not? Do you want to go? Maybe. All right, so not that one. He's looking at me like I have something on my forehead that shouldn't be there. But what I would say is that you should talk to people both during and then the makers after. Although I will say, you probably are, you're a good dude. You already know this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. If they are with other customers and you aren't there necessarily to buy something, you're just there to talk to them, I would avoid their table, generally speaking, unless you were interested in buying something, which, by all means, go for it. Just thinking, like, from a courtesy point of view, that might be something that's not an immediate thought, I guess. Yeah, I've definitely made that mistake where I was talking to somebody and then I had that realization of, like, dude, why am I blocking them? So it's kind of a thing to be aware of. And most vendors are not going to be mad at you. It's more of a, I guess in my mind, it was more of a, how would I want it to be if I had a choice? And then when I realized that, that's kind of a rule of thumb for me now. But yeah, I'd say that talking to people after the show as well, that's actually when some of the magic, that's when the magic happens, right? Because unless you go in there with stacked and ready to buy a whole bunch of stuff, which most makers are not, because they're not there to buy, they're there to sell. But I guess when things cool down after the show, after dark, they all have different names, but there's things that you can go be a part of and be able to network and meet people, and maybe you'll find out that you have a neighbor that is very interested in fountain pens, and exaggerating, but yeah, I'd take some stuff that is a reflection of who you are or what you do, and be open. So, I guess that's my 2 cents. Is should well, it depends on how deep you want to get into the community. Anyway, I digress. First rule about pinchos: don't talk about pinchos. They are eating it with their kids. I give them a nod or a wave or something. A celebrity like shoot. Yeah. I hear that. I think I like it, right? I like camaraderie as well. I like it a lot. I find that I am not very good at it sometimes. That is one of my problems, I would say. Where I start talking about a certain idea and then people are talking about something else that probably should spend more time listening to what they're saying. But sometimes you get wrapped up in your own thoughts and then it almost comes off as being rude, which is a bummer sometimes. Sorry, not trying to be rude. just thinking my way through this problem, and don't worry, I'll be right back with you. 21, I believe. I've got 13 people here. That's wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here, hanging out. You could do me a solid and hit that thumbs up. Only if you're enjoying it, I guess. Yeah, I am a pin maker. I make pins, right? I turn for a living. And here's something that's also kind of interesting. I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like, why would anybody be interested in watching what it is that I'm doing? You know, I mean, isn't that what every creator asks themselves? Like, why would anybody care to come say, hey, do anything, or whatever? Well, and that was one of the things that I just kept thinking about over and over again. I'm like, well, I'm not the best pin maker. I'm not the best turner. You know, I'm not even the best looking. You got people like Kevin out there, you know. But thinking about it is, if I am able and fortunate enough to be able to do this, then I should also be contributing to the overall benefit of said thing. You know what I mean? That makes sense. For example, I should be like contributing my findings. That way it can help progress the community and get other people involved or engaged and to help solve their problem or whatever. Just kind of a thought that I've been having is like, am I just taking from the community, or am I actually contributing and providing value to the community as well? And it was weird. It was weird having that thought, because I don't know if that's like too far thinking or what, but I am fortunate, right? Fortunate to have the ability to be able to turn for a living, but it's also important to, like, I think, contribute to the space that you are able to, you know, kind of like the whole American thing that I was talking about before. Like, if you want something that's American made, great. The reason you probably do want that is, well, you could be American, right? But we'll say that it's German made. That way it's not like, it's a little easier, I guess. But say you want something German made. Why do you want it German made? Because German engineering, right? You hear German engineering, and it's like, my gosh, they make it look like there's Swiss lathes and everything, and German engineering is so precise and beautiful and elegant and everything. But they built that credibility and they built that whole image to where that's how people view it. You know what I mean? And it's a very interesting thing, I would say. But I think at the end of the day, I need to be contributing more towards the community that I aim to be a part of. So, yeah. So that's actually one of my specific aims for 2025 is to be a little bit better at peopling and talking about things that people might not know yet. And have inspired you. I'm better looking than you? I don't think so. Come on now. Let's see. But do you know what I mean? Like the reputation that your predecessors have built in your company of like your position, they respect that position because of X, Y, and Z person. And now that you're in that position, you must be respected enough to have earned that position. So, now you got it. You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. It's almost like a job title, but a status that some people they create their whole identity around, something like that. And good, bad, or indifferent, just kind of interesting. Your BMW is awesome. Yeah, mine is too. I have come to find out I have quite a few German things actually. Both of my dogs are German breeds. My bike is German. There's a couple other things I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, there were other things. I think I do contribute. Well, I appreciate it. That is an important part of it, I think, is if you're contributing to it, then I think that you should stay. Like if you're innovating and pushing the limits, I mean, you could literally be doing the same thing, but if you're like refining that thing in a way that could be beneficial for somebody else to do, then it's like you are contributing. And so while I say the pen community, I should say it's the pen making community, pen enthusiast community as a whole. That's, I guess, more specifically what I'm thinking and talking about. But yeah, 25 is how can I be more involved? How can I get people more engaged? And I I like writing. I like talking about pins. You know, some people really like to talk about the makes of the pin. Some people like to talk about how much they spent on a pin. Some people like the simplicity of certain ones, and some people like the complexity of other ones. And like, I mean, if you had a Mont Blanc nib and you put it inside of one of your custom made pens, then that pen would write really nicely, right? But that doesn't make your pen a Mont Blanc still. And for theirs, I'm pretty sure some of it is just injection molding. So kind of interesting. Now they do have people that are testing it, looking at it, and everything. But and they do refine the nib, from my understanding. And then some of the other videos that I've seen, but it's one of those like their branding is incredible. So I can't be upset. They did do a good job, and they made something that a lot of people wanted. So instead of being mad, take some notes. I don't know. I guess that's just some things that I think about from day to day. I was looking at a water bottle the other day, or earlier today, rather. And it's weird because I was thinking, how does it connect? And earlier that day, I was thinking about pin flips, because that was something that you said that you wanted to see more of like specific things. I could break down different things to specific videos. And I was thinking about it, and then I had the realization of you could have it be like a cap. So you look at a water bottle, and it's got like it's got the part that comes up, right? I don't have a water bottle, but it's got the part where you actually, it's got the threads on it. So if you were to, you know, kind of replicate an idea like that and then apply it to a pen, it would basically flip the whole thing. Let me see. I'm probably not explaining this very well. Okay. I guess this will work well enough. Okay, so what I'm talking about, you've seen this pen before, right? It's got my clip recess on it. So you see how it goes down into the pin, right? So you got one that goes down into the pin, and then it's going to pinch the clip on the inside on this part here. But what I'm thinking is the water bottle idea made me think about, you know, the tenon that you cut could be basically in line with the nib itself. At the very top of the nib is right here at the top of the hole. And then you basically take the other end. It's kind of like this piece here, right? It's a cap, except it's going to be hollow on the inside here. And it's going to be on the outside like the rest of a cap would be, kind of like this, right? So this would essentially be where the clip stays. Does that make sense? And then you can also adjust the depth of where this piece will be. And then because you can do that, it'll make it so you can have it dialed in just right to where the flip will fit right there. So basically, if you can create the tenon and you have enough room for the nib, then you can actually just cover it, cover the top of it. Yeah. Anyway, I'll probably end up doing a video on that. But it was one of those weird things that I was looking at it, and I know everybody has seen, you know, everybody's seen water bottles, but until you're thinking about like one thing, and then you come across another thing that actually is a different way of looking at that first thing, then it kind of helps and leads to you kind of solving those different problems, you know. And so that's, you know, goes back to the little trick that I have mentioned before of if I have something and don't know what I'm going to do with it, I leave it around. That way I can see it every once in a while. So it's just another case in which that actually paid off. I'll just leave it to where I can see it over and over again, and eventually I'll figure out what it is that I want to do with that piece or how to solve that particular problem or whatever. I'm dropping some pearls. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this for quite a bit, because that is a way that I have uh hmm. Hang on. So I think that is actually how I was handling some of my things that I've had previous problems with. You got thinking about a pin style with a clip? Right on. But yeah, I was thinking about showing the couple different ways that, well, a few actually. I don't know if I've told you before, but I did think about how to make an internal clip, or a blind clip is what it's called. And I didn't see any resources out there to figure it out. So I literally was just thinking about it here and there and then forgetting about it and then thinking about it, rinse and repeat, you know? And then finally got to a point where I was like, you know what? I bet, how do you do it, right? Well, you know, I won't even say it, right? That way you can have the joy and satisfaction if and when you decide to try and figure it out, or if and when I make the video for that. Yeah. What have I said? The cap thread. Small. Yes. So, believe it or not, that actually is around already. But yes, cool idea. It is a cool idea. I think Hello Tello does, or Mayfair actually. Mayfair Pins, I believe. Abbie, Mayfair Pins does just the cap over the nib only part. Yeah. Mayfair. Yeah. But they just cover the nib. Yeah. So. But hey, I don't know if he makes a clipped version of it, so you could. You could still go for something like that. Hello Tello, I think, does, and then also Mayfair. Now, I actually have a couple designs. But I haven't exactly decided what I'm going to do with them. Like designs and then like plans for them. How much do you think schematics are worth? Like plans of how this certain thing was made. Yeah, like what? Yeah. I know. It's one of those things, is it can be a real bummer, man. But you should still draw it out. And even if it is that, you know, I'd say something that's really important is, you know, learn how to do what's already working and then be able to accomplish that, and then move on to, you know, creating your own spot. I think what happens sometimes, and this goes back to contributing back to the community, where if you're just doing what everybody else is already doing and you're not really enhancing this or that, or revealing different elements of it, it's like, well, I don't know. So I think there's like a little bit of a balancing act between like a little bit of balance between business, right? Because you got to do a little bit of that, right? You got to take care of that. But then on the other hand, it's like hmm. Hmm. I don't know. I guess it's one of those things where you think about the type of community that you want to be a part of, right? And then you have got to become kind of like those people, but also be yourself at the same time, right? So I guess what I mean by that is what you put into the stuff is in a way what you'll get out of it, but you have to balance like the business element of it too, because they're like some things are just little trade secrets that you don't want everybody to know, you want some people to know, or things like that. And so it's interesting interesting thinking about it like that. Sometimes it's good, and then sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Like when I sent all of those drill bit plans, I felt like I'm sending off one of my valuables. Like to me, it felt valuable. To other people, it probably isn't because they don't really know what I'm going to do with that necessarily. Sometimes it's a little weird in that regard. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. These are. I don't know what number this is. 29. Didn't I just do it 29? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what platform would be the best to like have a community on either. And I talked a little bit about the Discord element of it, and I don't think I like Discord for I don't know, talking to an individual person, but a Discord group or community is really kind of confusing. Uh, yeah. But yeah, mm, I did make a Facebook group. I haven't done anything with it, and it's all private and everything. But I did make a Facebook group. Um, it's like, well, what do you want to do? Well, I kind of want a community. Well, I do want a community. I do want like, and then you got to think about like the demographics. Well, I've got to think about the demographics. Then, uh, how do you organize certain things? I don't know. I don't see Discord as that really, I guess. Now, it could very well be that I haven't been a part of any of the Discord groups that I was heavily involved in. So, like I said, I haven't really spent much time learning much about it. I can do the basics, obviously. I mean, it would be awesome. It would be awesome. I like the idea of things, pretty much taking care of themselves um, with minimal input, right? And one of my other problems is I've got all these different things that I think about that I like to talk about, but it's like, at what point do I have to refrain? And do I even need to? Do I need to refrain? Um, And I know it's a little weird. It's a little weird to like say out loud, but you know, everybody has, when they start something, they have an idea in mind of like the direction it's going to go, right? So I do really like turning, and I love the creativity, the all that stuff that goes along with it. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, uh, how how do I ensure that I'm going to continue to be able to do this type of thing, right? So I don't know. And also starting your community on the correct platform. That way later on you don't have to worry about like migrating over or something like that, because it's kind of crazy. So I don't know. Lots of things I've been thinking about. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Some people like Facebook. Some people like that. I mean, shoot, some people even like TikTok, right? Whew. So it's kind of crazy. You can't make everybody happy. So you just got to find, I guess, your specific audience and what they're usually using. Yes. Yes. And, you know, part of me thinks that Facebook is actually a more likely place to um, be able to reach the people that are most likely interested in this type of thing. Right? Mm. Oh, come But yeah, I think the majority of the people that I would be able to relate with is going to be more likely to be on Facebook, and then occasionally being on um, TikTok or Instagram. And that would be probably just because they didn't know what it was, or they thought it was interesting looking, and okay. Okay. Let's see, what is. Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure. And that's fine. I think it's good that there's different like areas. It's just another thing to find that type of stuff out, and you know. Like I didn't know what a lathe was, you know. And like when I found out what a lathe was, I kind of like obsessed over it for a long time. And finally, I uh, finally got to a point where I just went ahead and bought the stuff that I needed in order to do what I was constantly thinking about. Okay, I'll take a look at that. And is it pins or beads or both, or knives or a little bit of everything? Your main thing is eggs. eggs. Like, in the context of an EDC, what's that? Mm. Okay. Isn't that crazy? Like how many things that are out there you don't even know of. I think that's crazy. That didn't sound good. Seems like there might be some parts down there that I gotta break, you know? Break the heart. Yeah, I mean, that's really what should be done, you know? And this is kind of one of the things that I was wondering too is should I casually work on a website as well? And then what kind of website would it be? Would it just be a blog? Would it be this or that? I don't know, man. This one had a heart like right at the tip there. Well, now that you know about all those, they're gonna pop up on you all the time now. Yeah, I would probably use the website as like a blog kind of thing, but like, well, what would I put in there? So I don't know. And how do they? Well, I'll go. I'll just go take a look. How is the other? What was the pigments that you were using recently? Kind of off topic, I guess. But have you used? You've made the blanks. Have they? How they? Yeah, the paste. Is it awesome? Or did you use too much? And it made it so it was too made it so the blank was too soft. because that can happen. At least with some of the paste. Might turn fine. Good. That's good. They're new ones or they're different than the older ones? Huh. I wonder what's new about them. Or what's different about them. Do you know what the paste, like the base material of the paste is? Different from the binders. The other ones smell like formaldehyde, the new ones don't. Hey. Well, hey, I'd say that's a step in the right direction, you know? And those don't smell like that. But this. Well, once I finish this one, rather. Get some water. See if I can do a little swap here. Hi. You sit here for a moment. Let's see. Let me do this. Will you hit Morty, please? Oh, well, we're already here. Okay. Well, these are looking nice, I gotta say. These are cool. Boom. Let's see. We're getting some spikes of people coming in and then leaving and then stuff. So to be expected, I reckon. But yeah, I'll be right back. Here's Abbie for a moment.
Hello. I'm trying to read some of the chat. How are you doing today, Kevin?
Yeah. Right back. It keeps fluctuating from like 3 to like 12 or 15.
More on the vertical one?
That one's the horizontal.
Yeah, I know. EDC group on Discord. Eggs and beads. John did a couple of beads, more of just like a can we do that thing. And so the kids have a few cool little EDC beads, but my back, am I frozen? It could have just been me reading and not talking because I was. But yeah, I'm good. We're, cranking away, doing our normal stuff. I am working on sanding these sweetheart pins as he turns them. And then I also, while I was waiting for some of the pins, was sanding the nib holders for Maverick pins. So I picked out a variety of fun blanks, purple and kind of teal theme going on there. But let's see. Which paste are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about the eye candy new pastes? Did you get them all? Like color. I know you got some of them, but I know they had color shift ones too. I think I put myself down to get notified when they come back, but I don't think I have. Facebook, Discord, website, Instagram, TikTok. Yeah, I know. Isn't social media too much? It's too much. There's too many different platforms. And there was the whole thing with like TikTok disappearing for all of however many hours it disappeared and people losing their minds. We have TikToks, but it wasn't something that we were actively counting on or participating in. But I think we're gonna have to adjust and stop being cranky old people who don't want to learn a new technology or deal with another social media. You got a few. Yeah, of the paste. I was using one of their neon ones the other day. They're nice. You have to use a lot, which is kind of interesting as far as like getting that true like pigmentation and color saturation that I've noticed between eye candy's paste versus like divine pigments solid pigments. I have to use a lot of the eye candy ones to get the true color that's like what's being shown kind of in the paste jar versus with divine where you just use a tiny bit and it's pretty much like opaque. But they are cool neon, the ones I have. I only have the neon paste. I don't have any other color ones. No, I haven't tried any of the goose ones yet, the older ones. But I did put my email in to be notified of the goose color shift ones because that sounds like a really cool thing. To me, I use a lot of color shifts. I think we've talked about this, but even for like subtle, like these have like a green to yellow and then like a pink to red-ish color shift. They make for very cool, almost like glowy kind of effect when you put it with translucents, but standing back with his water bottle. Anything else?
You said he likes the pastes.
Yeah, the goose ones, they were sold out. I put my name in for the color shift one, and I like their other paste.
We don't get VIP status.
You don't care for the older paste? Well, I would have had to pay attention and order them. It's my own fault. It's not anybody else's fault. Yeah, I only, like I said, I only have the neons, and I do use them because I also have all of eye candy's neon pigments. But as I think I've talked about this every time I do neons, I hate them. They like to, I don't know, they don't want to break down. They clump up. They do this really weird thing sometimes where even if it's fully cured, even if you CA coat it, somehow there's some reaction that happens where those neon pigments like push out of the of like the little pocket or whatever. It is so weird. And I love neon colors and I want to be able to use them more, but the their paste versions aren't really comparable. Like the colors are not the same at all. So kind of a different use. But I use denatured alcohol a little bit in the neon pigments to try to break them down or make it so that they're not like that. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And it is absolutely one of my least favorite things. Very frustrating because I want to use them because I love me some neon bright colors. But yeah, that's definitely happened.
Ni hao. Because you say ni hao.
Anyhow.
Ni hao. That's what I'm saying.
No.
I don't know what that means.
Look, here's the nip holders.
Good. They look nice. You show Kevin a nib holder?
I did show Kevin the nip holders. 3 colors. The only thing with that bushing is it makes it so you're not touching the end.
That's what I said. That's why I gave you the other one too.
Yeah. It fit nice in there, but definitely left the ends from being sanded at all.
You got a cart filled with divine stuff.
You should. They're awesome. I don't buy their mica powders because they're, it's like most other mica powders, to be honest. I have tried a couple of their glitters, which are newer. It's pretty, so it's nice glitter, but the real
Keep talking.
I can't. You're typing. The real winner there is their solid opaque pigments. They are the best. They are super opaque. They've got great colors. The only complaint is that they don't have a true purple. That's like the one color I'm missing kind of from their lineup. But he also does custom colors, or at least he did at one point, where you could like have the, what's it called? The RBC code or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
If you have the code for the color, they actually will custom mix you colors. We did that with Harry Potter house colors. So we ended up using that way. But yeah, so they custom mix colors and then do the pigments, and they're really nice, both of them. The metal line, I have. You just talking about the sparkly ones. I think that was what they were called, like the metallic one. I have red that has the sparkle in it. It's at least visually to me when I see that what they're doing there. I'm pretty sure it's the to not be named type of sparkle that they've added just to their regular pastes. So it's nice. They're nice. They're not super sparkly. They're like subtly sparkly. It's what I used on the caps of those peppermint fountain pens that John made. So it's a very subtle sparkle, unless they're coming out with like a new version or new colors. I have only tried the red from that particular sparkly line, but Braxton is also the one that we get our finials from. He's got mega laser. Him and his wife are really nice. Was a divine pigments, but yeah, my most used ones, or my most used period, is white. Definitely get white. The white one is fantastic for everything, and then black. And I use a lot of the other colors too, but white, big thing. I think I have almost all of their colors. But yeah, sorry, I was just looking to see. No, I don't see the sparkle ones up yet. But I'll be honest, I've been kind of bad on social. Oh my God, why? It's too big now. But I know you'll like them. They're awesome. They do like to leak too, so don't let them fall over. They make a really big mess. Make a big mess with them often. It's John, the camera. Yeah, it's John sitting there slow zooming on my face while I'm not looking.
Just got a camera upgrade, got that Ozbot. Just got facial tracking.
One day, maybe. We don't need any more cameras right now. John has a lot of cameras.
John's got 2 cameras.
John
3
has
cameras.
more cameras than that. They're just not all being used.
3.
Yeah, and the way that their pigment or their paste, their liquid is, I think it's where it's the part A of like resin. I'm pretty sure that's how most of these are made, along with other stuff. But I can't.
You really can't focus at all while I'm doing anything.
I can't. He's so distracting all the time.
Wow,
You're fidgety and
that's wild.
it breaks my.
You can't.
I also don't feel very good. Um,
That's so funny.
I don't know. You're ruining everything.
I didn't do anything. I'm just here. Sorry, being here.
They have little twist tops on them, the way that Magic Juice does. And even if you twist it all the way closed, if it falls over, I don't know if it's like a pressure difference thing because of the temperature fluctuations in our garage, which are extreme. But yeah, they like to make, and they're a pain to clean up. They're so pigmented. Yeah, that's how he is all the time, fidgety and doing things. And it's funny because he's the one that's got the ADHD. I don't, but he is very distracting to me. I get easily distracted by that. He gets distracted by everything.
Because I'm so interesting, right?
Distracting.
So interesting.
So distracting. What you doing? Are you coming back?
Yeah. Whatever you're doing. You done?
Yeah, I gotta stand more. Okay. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Kevin said that you are so interesting. Good, Kevin. I'm glad that you enjoy him. I'll let you have him back. And I'll go put my headphones back on and watch the documentary that just came out.
What documentary?
About P. Diddy.
You're watching that without me?
You won't like it. It is not as interesting. That one about the little person, Natalia Gray, that one was way better. You'd like that one. It was craziness. I've been in a mood. I've been watching weird documentary things. Well, you could live closer.
Good.
You could. Don't you have family?
Then we can hang out.
John wants to hang out. You can come hang out.
You're no friends. It's sad.
Yeah, so he says that about me watching stuff without him. However, most of the stuff, he doesn't really want to watch it. And when we watch stuff together, it's like these tiny little snippets at a time. And it is my guilty pleasure watching TV shows or movies or things like this while I sand, in which I do like sanding. It's my zone, I get in my zone, I block him out, and I watch what I want to watch. So it would take forever to watch this.
You know how there's that little meme thing that's going around that has been around for a long time, but it's like,
I don't want to watch a 2-hour movie. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want to watch a 2-hour movie? No. Would you like to watch 6 episodes of an hour long something?
Yes.
Hey Johnny, no, yeah, you are. I got the vertical one going as well, but it is good to see you, Johnny. Appreciate you being here. I like to have the vertical and horizontal going.
And they can't see both chats, but we can, right? Isn't that how that works?
Correct.
Yeah, so we've got Kevin on the other live. That's why it sounds like a one-sided conversation. You watch us when you work. See? I don't know. He likes watching movies and doesn't typically want to watch shows with me because I absolutely don't like watching a 2 or 3 hour movie or even an hour and a half movie and would much rather watch all day
episodes
of a season of something or whatever. So we have to find ones that are interesting enough that John wants to watch those shows, and I will occasionally, when I have to, watch movies with him. Although the kids are pretty good at watching whatever he'll put on.
The vertical one is called Hey Sweetheart.
That's weird.
Why? They're the blanks.
I know. It's Sweethearts. It's double streaming on YouTube. They're both on the Maverick Workshop channel. It's just one is vertical and one is horizontal, and we don't, John's double doing that so that more people can see the new Captain America movie. That did look pretty cool.
You're on the vertical, Kevin.
For a Marvel movie. We typically don't like the superhero movies. We like the bad guy movies within all of those things. But I don't know. I think it's also like the action-y Not super into the actiony. We like
Ooh, I'm looking forward to the John Wick ballerina one.
that
That
movie.
looks cool.
That last movie was so long. It was what was it? It was like the least words spoken in the whole video. It's like all fight scenes. It is my my nightmare. I did not like. And I like the story of the John Wick stories, but that last one was just fight
So
scene on fight
good.
scene on fight scene. I really liked the Continental, the TV show that they
that was pretty cool
did
too.
based on that. That was really good. Turned me to the dark side of Marvel movies, of superhero movies.
Or maybe just movies in general.
I don't know about that.
Been trying for years.
I don't. It's just opposites. We're just opposites. So no one ever really wins. But yeah.
See, sometimes when you compromise, you wear one black shoe and one brown shoe, and that doesn't look good, you know? So compromising doesn't always work, does it?
We like super villain stuff here over superhero. Or scary movies. That's probably one of our favorites. Horror movies.
Watching Scream right now.
Not with me.
No.
With our daughter. We watched that Nostradamus or whatever it was. Is that what it was called? Nosferatu. I'm sorry, that one. Nostradamus is the philosopher or whatever. The vampire movie that's a remake from a 1920s movie. And it was really weird. That's more of how our compromises go.
Yeah.
Someone wins one day, someone wins another day. Sometimes neither of us win and the kids win. You know, it's a lot of people. I like vampires too.
Yeah.
Vampires and magic and fantasy and whatever. Dawn is, it depends. It depends on what particular thing. Sinner, is that a show or a movie? Because I'll have to look it up.
No, that was Long Legs. I don't know what Sinner
Long
is.
Legs was weird. I didn't
Long
like
Legs
that
was
one
weird.
either. We saw that one in theaters and it was like,
I was thinking, is that it?
Our favorite or most satisfying movie I think that we saw this year was that Smile 2.
Hey, there's Sam. That's Sam.
Hi, Sam. I'm Abbie.
He's taking his exams in India.
Nice.
He's got what? You got verbal exams coming up, or you already did those?
For what?
Oral exams. Oral exams. That's the one.
What?
Verbal.
Just for school?
Yeah. I think he's finishing up high school or something.
Sweet. Well, yes,
Or college. I don't know.
I'm Abbie, John's wife. John does all the turning. I make the pretty colors. I make the blanks, and I do the sanding, which he's turning diamond painting pins today, and I am not on camera sanding. And we're just having a conversation about TV shows and movies at the moment, not even about turning. So.
Well, Sam's sometimes my hype man. He comes in here, he's like, "Oh man, he's looking real good, real sharp," and I'm like, "Oh man, you're not on payroll yet, but you keep this up. Goodness gracious."
Well, you know what? I think we did see the
hype man.
Did we see the trailer for this one for Sinners?
Mm-mm.
We'll have to watch it later. I think we did. It looked good. Anyhow, I'm gonna give the mic back to John now and go back to my standing.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. Abbie is the spelling. Yes. Abbie. Kevin said bye. He said bye. Excuse me. Well, let's see. I mean, we kind of have already wound down a little bit, you know. We just conclude it there. Huh? Could be a good place, right? Yeah. Yes. Sam, that is indeed my wife and co-owner and business partner and mother of my children. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to get to that. Eventually, we're going to get to like that Daenerys Stormborn title, where there's like 37 titles before their actual name. Owner, co-owner, part owner of John Maverick. That's what he said. Owner of John Maverick. Yin to the yang. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is correct. Are you right? I mean, yeah. It's like the yin and then the yang. Well, there's one for like the peace and the other one's for like the chaos. And it's a matter of, well, it's interesting. But yes. Anywho, I am actually going to conclude for now. Johnny, it's good to see you again, friend. I do apologize about the little bit of confusion about the vertical and horizontal. But I do try to keep the thumbnails consistent, where the horizontal is usually like the Maverick banner, whereas the vertical one is just basically the Maverick logo. So I've been trying to do it like that. But yeah. Yes, sir. Jealous to see. Oh, you'll get happy. You'll find somebody to be happy if you want one. You just gotta look. You gotta put the work in. So, but yes, Johnny, I'll see you around. Sam, see you around. Kevin, later on, brother. And see you later. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.